Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you just got here, I'm Jose. I've been traveling and showing it to you guys for a couple months, I think. Yeah. Some of my travels I have recorded and also uploaded to YouTube just to document my life and also share with friends and family. And as some of you know, I'm in London right now, which is great. I love the city. It's really beautiful, and in comparison with the place that I live right now, which is New York, I think it's just much more polite and organized. But today is the kind of video that I've been pushing away to do it for a while now. Yeah, I didn't want to have this conversation with you, and also I didn't want to experience what I have been through for the first time that I'm visiting the city. So but I figure it could be some of you guys out there could use this as a resource to help whatever the situation is, or it may even prevent anyone from going through the kind of the type of situation that I went recently. So as some of you know, I was in Egypt before coming to the UK. I was in Egypt for 3 weeks, and because of I met a friend in Montenegro while I was at this co-working. She invited me to come to London to spend a couple of days with her. I mean, not in the same house, not in the same flat, but in the same city. She couldn't accommodate me, so we came up with the dates, and the travel was arranged. I booked a flight, I booked Airbnb, and I came all the way from Africa to the UK. And yeah, I came here. I made a 7 days booking reservation within Airbnb, which I thought would be the best option, considering if I didn't like the place enough, I would book the same flat for a longer period of time. So I got to this place, which is right next to Victoria Park in Hackney. I know Hackney is like this big huge area, and you have like Hackney Wick, you have South Hackney, you have North Hackney. So I was close to Victoria Park, or VKP, as I was later to find out that that's how local people call it. And the second night that I was in at this Airbnb, I rented a room, on this flat that, the landlord was living at the same time. So it's just like basic Airbnb, right? You rent a room, and there is like a family or somebody else. You're gonna have roommates, for the time being that you're at this place. And it was almost midnight. No, it was around 3 in the morning, and I was already asleep, and I was gonna have to wake up the next day very early, as I wanted to go around the city and also visit a lot of touristic places, such as the Buckingham Palace, also the London Eye, the London Bridge. So I had a lot to go the next morning. When I feel that a huge weight on my body, on my chest, and I cannot move, because I feel that something is on top of me, and I started to hear a deep hard breath of someone that was just right next to me. And I managed to open just a little bit of my eye to see what was going on, and I see that my landlord is laying down on top of my body, and he's fully naked. He doesn't have any clothes on, and he starts to touch my body. And for that moment, my heart starts to race so fast that I couldn't even like move. I was like, what is this? What is going on? I don't know what was going on. And I felt awful. I felt unsafe, and I felt harassed. And he was trying to engage with me, on the same situation of he wanted us to have sex, or even he wanted to touch my body. He wanted to do things with me, but I wasn't asleep. It was 3 in the morning, so it was not consensual. And he then realized after, I don't know, maybe 10-15 minutes that I was not gonna wake up. I was not gonna engage into that situation. I was completely in shock. I didn't move my body. So then he realized that I wasn't gonna do anything. So he starts to jerk off his own body. You know, you can hear the breath, you can hear the movement, you can hear the whole thing. And in my mind, I just kept saying, oh my gosh, I want this to be over. I don't want to wake up to this. I don't want to wake up to engage in this situation. I don't want to have to face that. And I just continued to pretend that I'm asleep. You know, I don't want to wake up and have to deal with that. And then he continued to jerk off until he finalized that. And he still managed to not only be covered in that, but he still managed to lock myself into his body. So he almost like gives me a hug with also his arms and also his legs. And that's the whole situation that goes on for another, I don't know, 3-4 hours until it's 7 and something. And I wake up, I take my phone and I run into the bathroom. And I started to take a shower and to wash, my whole body, because I felt so dirty. I felt so violated that I felt that my own body was dirty, that I was not clean, if that makes sense. So I didn't go back to the room. I put on my clothes and I rushed and I left the house. I left the house to go somewhere in the central London to see the places that I wanted to see. But because of that situation that happened a couple hours ago, I was not able to fully accomplish what I had said to do that day. I was in shock. I didn't know what to do, so I didn't go to any of the touristy locations. I was sat down in a coffee place most of my day. I had my laptop on my backpack, and I was trying to get some work done because I didn't know how to react to that. Honestly, I was not expecting, and the whole thing is that it was not consensual, so I did not agree to that. And when I was coming home from, after spending my whole day basically at this coffee shop, he texts me. He's like, "Hey, are you coming over?" And I say, "Yeah, I'm going home now, and I just feel like taking a nap." So he knows that I don't want to engage in any type of, that conversation. I don't want to deal with anything. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to see him. I just want to go straight to my bedroom and, close the door and crash. But then he messaged me. He like, "Oh, okay, I have this guy coming over. Do you feel like popping over for a threesome?" And I don't know. I just started panicking, because the whole thing just happened a couple hours before. He messaged me, and then he continued to go on with that behavior, that he then invited me to a threesome with somebody else, with someone that I've never met before, which is totally crazy because you just look what we did. Look what you did. You didn't ask for permission to be with me. You didn't knock on my door. You didn't ask for me. You didn't call my name. It was not consensual. So why now are you calling me to have a threesome with somebody that I've never met, with you that I've never agreed, that I've never said anything, that I never told you that I wanted to be with you. I never invited you to be in the same bed as me. I never invited you to come into the room. So the whole thing was confusing to me. I was in shock again. I got to the Airbnb, I get into my room, I close the door, and then he opens the door again. Like, they didn't knock. He did not ask if he could come in. He started to tell me that someone is coming over, that he's going to have someone to have sex. And then if I wanted to join, I said, "No, I'm just going to take a nap." And then he said, "No, you can join us, but if you can, if you can keep in your bedroom with the door shut, because, we're going to be in the room next door having sex." And the whole conversation just seemed very, very wrong to me. I didn't want to be in that conversation, so I was just like, "Okay, I'm gonna have a shower, whatever." And then he was like, "No, after this guy came over, we're gonna be here for an hour. If you wanna go out and have dinner, do you wanna get something to eat?" And I was like, yeah, sure, we can do that. I just said yes to going out to dinner because I wanted to like get away from that situation. I wanted to be as far as possible. So I ran to the bathroom again. I locked myself in the bathroom, with the both locks. I did it. And then I started to take a shower and start crying because the whole situation got me off guard again, that I did not expect that to happen again. And then I left the house. He was like, "Are you not going to take a nap?" And I was like, "Yeah, but you know what? I feel like going to the park right now. I don't want to be in the house right now, so I'm just gonna take a nap later, and I'm gonna meet you for dinner, after that." And then I leave the house. I go to Victoria Park, which is just across the street, and I sit on the bench, and I immediately start thinking, and also start immediately messaging my friend, "Hey, this happened. This just happened. I don't want to be in the house. I don't want to be as close to him. I just want to be like, I don't want to be here." And she was like, "Yeah, you can come over to my place. Come here right away. I mean, don't even think about it. Just take the bus and come here." And at the time, the place that my friend was living was like 20 minutes away from the place that I was. And I didn't even think like twice. I just hopped on a bus and I went to my friend's place. And in the meantime that I was on the bus, I messaged my landlord and I say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to make to dinner with you because I forgot I had plans with someone else, so we're gonna have to reschedule that." Obviously, because I was so caught in the moment. I was so panicked at the time that he invited me to go over that I didn't think of denying, because I didn't want any kind of confrontation. I just wanted to like leave and get the fuck away. So I immediately go out. I start messaging him because I didn't want to go out with him. So I told him, "Listen, we're not gonna be able to make this happen because I have plans with someone else, and we're gonna have to reschedule that to any time later." I messaged that, and I go to my friends and we hang out. I was finally able to calm down and relax, and also to chill because I was so out of my mind because I couldn't even like think thoroughly. I was so caught off by that I was able to have that someone that was my friend to invite me over to her place, which I could stay low and also hang out, watch a movie, and we were just hanging out for a bit. And then I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours and a half later, I decided to go back to my place because I felt that he was not going to be there anymore, because he was going out for dinner. So I managed to go back to the house. He was not there. The whole house was empty. Nobody else was there. And I got into my room, and I couldn't lock the door. There's no lock at the door, which was kind of strange. Because whenever you're renting in a Airbnb room, you get not only the keys to get into the flat, the apartment, the house, whatever, but you also get a room or a key or a passcode to your room, which you can keep it closed and whenever you get out. So things like passport, money, document, like clothes, whatever you have inside that room is going to keep it safe, because you're obviously going out. You don't want to anything to be missing. So that was the case. The whole time I was by myself. I was thinking, what should I do? And then I called the police. I called the police. I called the UK police and explained to them what happened. And I happened to have a near of the place that I was a police station. He advised me to go there in person with my document and explain what happened. So I went to the police station. I talked to the police officer and I told them that this and this happened. I didn't agree to it. I was completely surprised by that situation. I had never given any sign of that I wanted to be with him, that I want to have sex with him. So I just don't get why he acted that way, and I felt violated. I felt that was non-consensual. So I felt really bad, and I told them everything. And I also showed my WhatsApp. They had access to my WhatsApp, also to the Airbnb platform, which they advised me to call them right away. And in the meantime, they were just like sitting right next to me and participating in that conversation until the Airbnb gave me a solution and they transferred me I don't know if it transfer is the right word to it, but they put me in a place elsewhere, far from that location, without me having to pay for anything for a week. That's what I got, another week like free of charge because of the whole situation happened. As soon as I got into the conversation with Airbnb support and also to the police, I was able to go back to my place, pack my stuff, also with the police waiting for me right next to the door. And I got the address and also the booking for confirmation for somewhere else that Airbnb was going to pay for that. And I immediately just took the bus and I just went right away to that location. So I didn't message him, I didn't say anything, I just left the house. And right now, I don't know what is the status of that. I don't know if the police got to speak with him, if he's gonna press any type of testimony, or even if this thing is going to move forward. But I just wanted to get away from that. I didn't want to be as close as to him. I didn't want to talk to him. I blocked him on every single way possible, from WhatsApp, Airbnb, the platform, anything that I had, a wave of him getting in contact with me, I blocked him. So I was not gonna have the possibility of him reaching out to me and talking to me for the whole thing. I didn't ask for a refund, I just wanted to be alone. I just wanted to be safe. And the whole thing that keeps playing in my head is the feeling that laying down on the bed and I feel this huge weight on my body. And I didn't know what was that. And when I came to realize that it was, somebody else's body, that was, the landlord's body laying on top of me. That's something that I don't think I'm going to be able to fully overcome that memory. Even though, I had a therapy session the next day to talk, to my therapist about that and explain the whole situation. And also because I wanted to have a professional support on that, and I wanted to be guided. I wanted, to have someone to walk me through that whole situation, the feeling that I was having that time. This is an amazing person that I'm now able to have, these therapy sessions every 15 days, and she walked me through the whole process. And she was able to calm me down, because imagine if I was not able to overcome that, if I was not able to walk away from that feeling, walk away from that night, walk away from that house, I was not gonna be able to enjoy my time in London, because imagine, this is my first time in the city, this is my first time coming to the UK, so I wanted to have a nice time, I wanted to have not only a nice time, but I also wanted to have good memories. And now this awful memory is somehow infected in the middle of all of the memories, the good thing that I've done, I've seen, and I'm experiencing in London. And I'm still in shock, that this happened, especially because we didn't had any type of talk, conversation, nothing. He didn't have the right to do that. He did not have the right to break into my room in the middle of the night and do what he did. And thank God I was able to count with Airbnb to help me through that situation. Also, the UK police was really helpful, and they treated me so well that I don't even know how to say thank you to both of them. But now that, it's been a week, I had time to really think about it, and also ran away from that situation. And now I feel that it's a good time to sit down and talk to you about what was happening, because I think this situation may be more common than what it seems to be. And also, it doesn't matter if you're in the UK, if you're in the US, if you're in South America, it doesn't matter where you are. Something like that can happen. In order to avoid that, in order to recover from that, you have to know that you can always count on a friend that you might have in the city. You can always go to the police. You can always ask for the support as a platform such as Airbnb. And It's a week later, and Airbnb did not get back to me if the landlord was removed from the platform, because I still can see the room being advertised. I still can see the room being available for anyone to schedule and also to book it. So I don't know what is up with that. I think, I obviously need some time to, fully go through the whole situation. But Airbnb not only get the screenshots of the whole conversation that I have with them, and also the situation, the proof that I had to show. But Airbnb also got into my phone and also walked me through WhatsApp, the application, to see that I was not fabricating those screenshots. They needed to have proof that, the whole thing that I was saying, the whole accusations that I was making against the landlord was true. So I was able to prove, and everything that I said was true. But it's still, to this day, the room is still up to be booked on Airbnb. And the only thing that shocks me is that he has a lot of positive comments, and no one is mentioning anything about, this type of situation that happened to me. So I don't know if I was the first one that he got to do that, or if he somehow managed to manipulate those reviews, but I feel that something is wrong, with that. Something is definitely off. And I shouldn't be the first one to get into that situation for, Airbnb to be warned. My time in London is coming to an end, but I feel that only now, 1 week away from me to leave the country, is when I feel that I can finally breathe. Because the whole time I was feeling that I was not gonna make it. I don't know what's gonna happen to me, because I don't want anything like this to happen again, especially if you're in a foreign country. Lucky me that I speak the language, but it doesn't mean that I can feel comfortable enough to be here, because the whole thing is just crazy. That's what it is. But yeah, I know that this is probably not the first case, not the first video that you may find on this platform of someone talking about a situation like that, which is awful and is sad, because people like him, people like this landlord that I got into his home, should not be out there, should not be making his home a Airbnb so he could harass people. He could do that to people that didn't want any of that. And right now I just think that I just want to enjoy the last days of my time here in the city. I still want to go to the places that I wanted to go from day one. Today's Friday, so I have a lot of work to go through, but I couldn't spend another day not coming here and sharing and telling what happened to me, so we can prevent you from happen to you. Also somehow giving you hope of that, a situation that like that when happens, it can get a solution. You can find people to rely on, so to move on from that. I hope that in the next video I'm gonna be able to come and also tell a happier, shinier story, of my days in London are being bright despite the weather, which right now is really cloudy, and we had a couple of sunny days, but right now it's just cloudy. We get a thunderstorm last night, which is kind of cool, and a bit of rain, but hopefully the weather is going to turn out to be great this weekend, because I wanted to go out. I want to be outside. I want to try the food markets. I want to go out, explore more of this beautiful city. And if this video somehow helped you, somehow gave you instructions on how to operate or how to navigate any kind of similar situations like this, I'm happy, because I just want my experience to be a learning curve. doesn't matter at which point. I just want this, to help someone out there. And I just wish you guys to be safe out there, and I will see you guys on the next video.